Our top focus, his presence at Khurshid Mahmud Kasuri's book launch event has made Naseeruddin Shah a target of Shiv Sena's ire, and now the celebrated actor has opened up about the verbal tirade that's been going on against him. Speaking exclusively to India Today's Rajdeep Sardesai, Naseeruddin Shah claimed that it is the first time that he is being reminded of his Muslim identity. Take a look.
And joining me now is Naseeruddin Shah, who was present and was part of the panel discussion during the launch of Khurshid Kasuri's book in Mumbai. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Shah. I want to start with the manner in which your presence at that book release has angered many on social media and the Shiv Sena, some of them calling you anti-national, some of them saying that you had no business being on that platform. What would you like to say to those who today are targeting you?
That they should listen clearly and closely to what I actually said. I was quite astounded at the way what I said was reported in a certain news channel, where everything that I stated was interpreted as being anti-Indian, and there was in fact nothing of the sort that I had actually said, and it was very cleverly juxtaposed with images from a film of mine where I'm a terrorist hunter, and juxtaposing it with what I actually said, and now listen to what he actually said in real life. And what I was saying was that I've only received love and regard when I've been to Pakistan, as if that is an anti-national statement. I just do not understand why anything said as a compliment to Pakistan must be construed as anti-Indian. If I say that Imran Khan is a great cricketer, does it imply that Sunil Gavaskar isn't? So I'm pretty, I'm very dejected at the way the incident has been reported. There were misstatements that I was sitting right next to Mr. Kasuri, which I wasn't. What Mr. Noorani said, what Dilip Padgaonkar said was not quoted at all, and they raised far more pertinent points than I did. But what they said was ignored, and only what I said was dwelt on. I don't understand why I'm being picked on.
You don't understand why you're being picked on. Do you believe it's possibly because there is this climate of hate today? There are a lot of hate mongers today, particularly when it comes to Pakistan, and who would believe that a Naseeruddin Shah, in a sense, becomes a soft target because you are seen as someone who has over the years promoted the idea of Indo-Pak friendship, and therefore if you do that, you will be, in a sense, targeted by those who believe that we must abandon all relations with Pakistan. There's no space for sentimentality today when it comes to Pakistan.
Absolutely. And on top of that, my name is Naseeruddin Shah. If it had been something else, but perhaps what I said wouldn't have made so much news. I remember saying earlier that it is a pity that their performances of their artists are disrupted, and no performance of mine ever has been. That's all I said. The hate mongers, unfortunately, are having a field day, and they are in a position where their voices can be heard. They are in a position to manipulate news, and they are in a position to make news. And so I would think that the protests by the writers returning their awards, though a little bit futile, is part of a reaction of making a protest, if even symbolic, to stem this scary mood of intolerance that seems to be growing. It is also a fact that some of...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, please go ahead.
No, I was going to say that it's true that some of these people who are returning their Sahitya Academy and Sangeet Natak Academy awards are returning awards not given by this government at all, but by another government. But the point is that in the absence of any possibility of debate, in such a mood of intransigence, in a situation where a perfectly innocuous statement is twisted and interpreted as being anti-Indian. Now, I do not feel the need to justify anything that I said. I do not need to prove my patriotism to anybody. But the fact is that these writers are making a symbolic protest, which they hope will be heard. I wish that the protest had been made through their work.
Can I ask you 2 points? I want to raise 2 points. And the first one is this. You said interestingly just now that if my name was not Naseeruddin Shah, I may not have been targeted. Are you saying that as an Indian Muslim, or are you saying that as a film star? Do you believe you're targeted because you're a celebrity or because you're an Indian Muslim, or both?
Both, I would think, and it really pains me to say this because I've never ever been aware of my identity as a Muslim in this country. And the more the kind of things are happening, the more I'm being made aware of it. And it's deeply saddening to know that, because as I said, that I am Indian and this is my country. There are 4 generations of my family buried here. I belong here. And no one has the right to tell me where I should live and where I should not.
The other side, of course, is as I said, there will be those who will say that there is too much sentimentality when you deal with Pakistan. For example, I had Anupam Kher on my program last night, and he said whenever he's tried to stage a play in Pakistan, he's never been given permission to do so, and therefore was trying to suggest that we tend to go overboard at times with our hospitality towards the Pakistanis. They don't reciprocate when Indian music singers or theatre artists or film stars want to go to the other side of the border.
Well, if that is true, it's indeed tragic. I really am not aware of these incidents that have occurred with Anupam. I have to say I'm not completely astonished that this has happened, if it has happened. And I would say it's a retaliation in the same way as our movies depict Pakistanis as buffoons always. So they have started making movies which depict Indians as buffoons. I don't see what good this will all lead to. I really do not understand it. But it does seem to be the mood. It does seem to be that we need a villain to beat, and we've got to stick ready to do it.
Do you think it's grown? Do you think this feeling of animosity towards between sections on both sides of the border has actually grown, and therefore the space for, let's say, a voice like yours or those who would like to promote Indo-Pak friendship is actually getting reduced? Do you fear that now?
There were very few in the first place. There were much more people who were reacting viscerally to the enemy country, as they called it, on both sides. And there are still very few, but there are a few, and we are the few who refuse to lose hope. We are the few who believe in peace rather than confrontation. And I do not fear for my life at all, or I do not fear for my security at all when I travel to Pakistan, and I do not see what is anti-Indian in saying a thing like this.
How would you respond then to the? How would you respond? How would you then respond to the Shiv Senics who today will say that terror and cricket cannot coexist? Terror and welcoming a Pakistani foreign minister for a book release cannot coexist. How would or a Ghulam Ali's music concert and terror cannot coexist? What would you like to tell the Shiv Sena today?
What I'd like to say is that the people who sponsor terror, which I'm not denying at all for a second, nor the horrors associated with it, are not the same people who bring messages of peace across the border. The people who bring messages of peace are allowed by both governments to come in here. So you have to make a difference. You can't tar everybody with the same brush. It's just not right. If it is the Pakistani army that's responsible for the horrors that have been perpetrated, you cannot blame an artist who sings of love and who sings of unity as being responsible for it. So you have to learn to differentiate. Otherwise we'll end up making the same mistake and the brainwashing that the Hollywood films did to us when we were children and saw movies of World War II, and we grew up believing that every German is an absolute villain, which is absolutely, I don't need to say it, is far from true. But that's the kind of thing that does seem to be happening, and it's a pity.
So you're saying you cannot hold a Ghulam Ali in a sense responsible for what the Lashkar-e-Toiba does? You cannot hold, you even believe, a Khurshid Kasuri, even though he was foreign minister, for what, let's say, the ISI does? You believe it's time, it is possible, you believe, to separate cricket, music from politics?
I think it's absolutely, it's high time. It's far much more delayed, and the fact that these events are disrupted is an attempt to disrupt any attempt at peace and any attempt at harmony. between the two countries.
Let
And that's all that I'm talking about is what I'd like to underline. Yeah.
Let me ask you though about in conclusion about the Sahitya Akademi. If you were and you've written a very fine memoir last year, if you were to get an award like the Sahitya Akademi and you were a winner of that, today would you want to return that award? Would you, as you said, would you want to show solidarity with the writers? Do you believe this is the time to do it? There are those who say, you know, why now? Is this an, is this an attempt being made in a sense to protest the Narendra Modi government? Is it against the climate of intolerance? Would you have taken the step that these writers have?
I have received some awards. I haven't returned any of them. It is a political statement. These writers and artists who have done so are politically committed people, and as I said, they need to make a statement. They also feel that the award is worth something, and an accusation leveled at them is they are insulting those who gave them the award. I do not know how much truth there is in that argument. The fact is, as I said earlier, I would rather that these writers had registered their protest through their work. It's what I would have done. It's, we recently staged
so you might have staged a strong play
of James Thurber, which were written, exactly. And in fact we did, and we discovered the relevance of something that we've already been doing. Poems by James Thurber, as we said in Bangalore, which evoked a tremendous response because people saw the resonances immediately. And we did not have to make any overt political statements, and we didn't. Secondly, as I said earlier, these awards do not mean all that much to me. When I received the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, receiving it along with me was Mr. Geoffrey Kendall, who had been doing theatre in India for 25 years before I was even born, who continued to do it all his life in Asia, who inspired me to do the same. I really think his contribution should have been recognized much earlier. When I was awarded the Padma Bhushan, there were 3 of my teachers from the drama school who were being awarded the Padma Shri. 3 of not 1, not 2, 3 of them, who taught me the fundamentals of theatre. They were being accorded a lesser honor than I was being accorded. So I really believe that being
and
your name being print-worthy has something to do with it.
I'm going to ask you
and therefore I would not bother to return these awards.
I'm therefore going to ask you, as a theatre person, as someone who's been committed to the arts and culture, you truly believe that arts and culture must rise above all boundaries, whether the boundaries are between India and Pakistan, whether they are carved between Hindu and Muslim. You believe this is a unique country where you need to bring people together. This is a unique subcontinent which needs to cross all boundaries and reflect our shared heritage. And you have no regrets, therefore, of attending. You have no regrets of attending Mr. Kasuri's function. You believe that was the right thing to do.
Yes, absolutely, because his book and what it says does not promote anti-Indian propaganda or anti-Indian feeling in any way. It tells the truth as he saw it, and his vision of the truth may be different from others. But I have no regrets about anything that I have said. The fact that what I have said has been twisted and quoted out of context is what bothers me, because that is an infringement on my freedom of speech.
And you believe that the right to free...
I will not say anything further on the matter because...
You believe the right to free speech is fundamental.
I think we do have the right.
You believe the right to free speech is a fundamental right, and we must be allowed to exercise it, whoever we are in this country. And we must learn to accept dissent.
We must be allowed to exercise it. Yes, and if it means that we have to pay a price for it, we pay it.
Naseeruddin Shah, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajdeep.